we probably wanted to know exactly what went on, and well, probably started because of the allegations against my father, and all the build-up of the media, through the media hype, and certain departments backstabbing people, and we felt that we had the full brunt of everything. I mean, with the innocent victims, so Jeff Callip and Alan Cutler, when they was in Premier of the state then, and we felt that racism was very hatred towards our community. And closing down of the community in 2003, put a very enormous stress and bias upon who we was inside that community. And Jeff Gallup portrayed us as pedophiles, living in those closed-knit communities, and pedophilia was running rife, and that wasn't the case. I mean, we was vilified, and that I felt very betrayed by certain departments and certain people that you trust, and that's how we feel, because today we're under attack of losing our home that was there since 1977. And I mean, our parents, our grandparents, our ancestors. I mean, that's all camping grounds there, and very spiritual dreaming. And the stories through the Woggle, through the Allen Brook, and my father always talked about the last corroboree, and the stories of who was there, and how important was protecting our sites, and the Woggle. The Woggle is the most creative of the Swan River and the water plains, and we will always maintain that sort of story about him and things. Growing up through the ages of, through my parents' sides as grassroots people, it's always, you see through them of what the battles ahead was for the people of every Noongar people, you know. You wanted to make sure that you had a better life for your children, better living conditions. I mean, that was the reason why our family did so much protesting. The brewery, he was a voice, an activist voice, and so many. I mean, past president is Lenny Colbong, and Clary Isaac, and some other people that's here not today, and in the brewery. Saunders Street, where we got Saunders Street established, we stayed in tents, made homemade huts. Got Saunders Street where it was established today, but apparently things didn't work out along that way. Lived in shanties at the Widgie Road. Before that highway, that the Reed, the Tonkin, all that there along there, before that came into thing. I mean, growing up as a young girl, and through the eyes of my father, you know, and my parents, and I mean, you see things that, and learn, and you understand why it was meant to be to get the word out. there is a better life for Aboriginal people, not just us. It's a voice of saying you're equal and you've got to have a better living condition for your families. And there we went to Lockridge and dragged all our belongings, and Dad chose that place. Our parents chose that, where there used to be horses running in that paddock, and we camped there, and we sort of shared the paddock with the horses. I mean, growing up, and ended up Cedric White gave us because it was too harsh, and he helped us with all mining single man quarters mining units, and managed to live in that for so many years. And then they rang in, because there was no water there, they rang and put a tap near the Lord Street. We call them Lord and Morley Drive. They put a tap there so we could walk down the road and get buckets of water. And later came a bitumen road. The owners got rid of the horses, and bitumen road came in there right up to where we was in tents, and I mean, there was changes coming, and houses. We got funding from ATSIC. That's when ATSIC was in power. I mean, they gave us, and there the house sits today in rooms. I mean, they was designed by us. What we wanted, plenty of space, and they left there to be. At the moment, they've been vandalised and ransacked by so-called security guards that was meant to look after the place. Destroyed everything, and the Western Australian Planning has never, ever offered us any guidance to said, oh, we'll protect the property, but they left the property open to vandalism. We've seen it all. We've got a dome up there that was used for my niece's funeral, my brother's funeral. That dome was going to use for my dad's cultural service, but he was denied access by John Day and the Premier because it was too sensitive. I mean, how important was maintaining your culture and the ways that you live is so sensitive. I mean, the rumours was found out by Peter Frost parliamentary inquiry was all false, and all in your windows. I mean, it was all exposed. Colin Egan was a part of that. Karen Murphy, who was the secretary for Jeff Gallup. I mean, certain departments that was exposed, but and Jeff Gallup decided to use his depression to escape for what damage he did. And Colin Barnett today hasn't got the guts enough to come out and say sorry to us and apologise, and the enormous what was done to us was very racism. And my father was jailed for a crime that he did not commit. He was railroaded in there, and we will continue that fight to clear his name. And this has been very stressful and a very hard and long fight for the remaining of his children and his grandchildren and mummy. So we want the community back because it was wrongfully taken away, and we don't want it to be involved in a $1 billion. We don't believe in selling our culture, your land, and your spiritual dreaming. I mean, there's no price for that. because that was given to you down from generations, and money can never buy you what's given to you and taught. I mean, it goes with you when you die, and money is not the answer to it. Is that you've got to continue to teach your children of who you are and where you come from. Because if you allow money to dictate and take control, there will be you don't exist. And I'm a strong believer in that, because I've seen it through my eyes growing up, and through my family, through my parents, my grandparents, my uncles, my aunties, and I believe your culture is the most important thing these days, and we will continue to fight for Swan Valley to be handed back to us, and not to be involved in no $1 billion deal with Columbine and Salts. We've got to claim Swan River people that we maintain. We are the custodians and the caretakers of the Swan River, and it's in the federal court, and will be on the 23rd of October, and yeah, we're going to, once that be approved and registered, then I think all hell's going to break, because Spalts will be under so much pressure of what they did, and that's what we believe in, because who we are is we're the true people of the Swan River, and that's what I just wanted to come and say. That's what we've been fighting all our lives.
Thanks very much. Thank you.